Hello, welcome to this video for Dungeon War. This is going to be a video to set up the game for 3 players. It is a 1 to 4 player game, so if you wanted to play solo, there are setup rules, a setup procedure for single player. That's on page 16, playing the solo game, and there's some slight changes to the rules as well on how to play solo. So if you do want to play on your own, there are the rules there for that. Other than that, we'll start with page 4 where it says setting up the game. We're going to set it up for a 3-player game, but it can be 2 to 4. Okay, so we've set out some pieces already, but we're going to go through the instructions in setting up the game and how to set them up. So the first thing that we need to do is to get these tiles from the dungeon stack over here and put them face up on the table, preferably in the middle of the table, because the dungeon could wrap all around here, but because we're limited on space, we're going to keep them fairly low down on there. And that's step 1. Step 2 is to shuffle all these remaining token dungeon tiles, which we've already done, and then we need to determine the first player. So you do that by rolling a dice. The first player is going to be the person to take the first turn in the dungeon. So we roll the dice. We see that 6 was rolled by green, so 6 is going to be the first player. So player green will start the game. The next step is to start with the first player, which is green, and move left to right. Is to each player to draw one of these dungeon tiles and place them face up, connected to one of these 4 exits. So let's say green will play this tile, and the rules of the game is that you have to connect the dungeon tile to an exit, so you can't block an exit off like that. You would need to place it like that, or like that, but not like that. So I think green will play their tile there, and what we're doing in this part really is just building up the dungeon a bit. So blue will choose this one and we'll place it. It's got to be off of one of these dungeon tiles, so we're going to place that one there. And then red, we will draw this one, and I think they will place that tile there. Okay, so that's step 4. Next, we repeat that process, but this time these tiles can be connected to any that have been laid, not just these first 2 dungeon tiles. So starting off with the first player game, which was green, we're going to draw that one, and then blue will draw this one. Okay, so this is a special tile that's got spaces on it, and we'll go into that in a bit more detail in the playthrough. And then the next one, red, will draw this one, and I think they will place that one there. Okay, so that's determined the step 5, I think that was. Yes. Okay, so the next thing is to shuffle the dungeon cards. We've done that. The spell cards, and I've already done these as well. And then you shuffle the relic cards and you put them in their respective decks face down on the table where everybody can reach them. Okay, step 7, each player is given a colour dice. Now these dice, the way they work is as the game progresses, we're going to be placing these tokens on the board, and to know which player owns which token, you place one of their damage dice on them. So the dice are actually called damage dice, and if I show you a close-up of the hero, we can see the hero has 3 statistics. One of them is attack, one of them is health, and the other one is treasure. So our hero has got a health of 6. So when you place a hero down on one of these dungeon tiles, the player places one of their damage die on it and sets it to the maximum value, and then as that token starts suffering damage, you reduce down by the amount of damage until they lose their last health, and then the token is removed from play. Okay, so that's how the damage dice work. So each player effectively receives a set of coloured dice, and this is going to be their damage dice that will... oh, and they also receive a hero token. And then step 8, we place all the other tokens within easy reach, which I've done at the top here, and I've put them in stacks determining by their type. And then step 9, which is the last step I believe, starting with the first player, which was the green player, and moving to his or her left, each player places their hero token with one of their damage die on an empty tile. Now if the tile has spaces like this one, then you would place the token on, and you wanted to place it on that tile, you would place it on that space, on one of those two spaces in this instance. Okay, so what we do is green player will place their token there, and we'll put a 6 on there. The blue player will place their hero token there, and we'll mark that with a 6, and the red player will place their hero token there, and we'll mark that with a 6. And that's it. That's the game set up. And so in the next video what we'll do is we'll go through an actual playthrough and play 2 or 3 rounds for each of the players and see how the game mechanics work and all the different bits and pieces that make up Dungeon War. So thanks for watching, and bye for now.